Hey guys, Answer is here with an audio journal entry. This is journal entry number 5. This time I don't have something specific to show you or show you something that is finished because I work on different things right now and they're still work in progress. Nonetheless, I want to do this short entry here and talking about the stuff I'm working on. So right now we are in this showcase mode. This is not the Patreon version for once, this is the free version because what I work on right now mostly affects the free version, but also a little bit the Patreon version. So what is different now, or what I'm working on, is when you want to select clothes, then the clothing that was only in the Patreon version, or other items, not only clothing, just everything that was only in the Patreon version, not in the free version, was just invisible, so you couldn't select it and so on if you had the free version. Now you see it, but it has a great text, so maybe I have to change the text a little bit because it's you can't read it so much, so good, and you can't select the item, but when you hover over it, you just saw it. You see a preview of the item, and then only available in the Patreon version. I will make probably another text below too that refers to the button on the top right, and the button leads you directly to my Patreon. And yes, I'm doing that in the hope that more people will jump over to the Patreon version. There are no excuses for that. So kind of like, hey, look what you miss out. And if you don't have the Patreon version, that's a generality of that. And you see there's also another thing when you look here, like Microsoft, it says unlock this item in the main game, so this will also affect the Patreon version. So if there are items that you can unlock while playing the main game, it will now also show like this and tell you, hey, you can unlock this in the main game. Like Microsoft, you have to go to the Kirby merge to exchange it for used panties. This top here, and as soon as you did, you can use it in the showcase mode. So these are things I add. It took me a moment to set this preview up. I mean, I used something similar in the main games when we look at when you look at shops. I also use previews in the shop, but it's different from there because in the shops I use really 3D model, and we just change the camera to the 3D model and look at it. This time, this here, it's 2D rendered image, and it took me a moment to set it up because I never did something like that before. You see, it's not really finished. I hope I can do something about the brightness. I will, of course, kind of change the view, so when we look at the top, we focus more on the top, we zoom in more, and when we look at bottom clothing, we zoom in there and things like that. Or when we have shoes, we go down to the feet, so we can see a better preview of the things we see here. So if you are a little bit worried that I'm only working on this shenanigans to get more people to my Patreon, then don't worry. I also work on different things. So like I said, yes, this 2D rendered image took me some time to set it up. I'm not finished with setting it up, like I explained. However, as soon as it is set up, it's quite easy to kind of add it to all the clothings and so on. So right now it's a little bit in the prototype testing phase, but as soon as it is finished, I can add it very easily to the other items I want to showcase like in this way, and I will do that not at once for the next release or something like that. I just will do this continually while I'm working on the showcase mode, because like I explained in a other video, that the showcase mode is a little bit a mess right now, and I have to kind of want to rebuild it so it's less yeah, so it works better, showcase mode, and isn't limited and confusing what is in what can I do with which character right now. Right now it's a little bit, yeah, some things are with some characters, some things are not with that character, some things are only in the main game, some things are only in the showcase mode, and it's a little bit confusing, and I want to work on that to make the showcase mode more wholesome thing, let's say it like this. I'm also working on with Nami on a couple of things. So I already said in my earlier video, I made almost 70 animations for her, and I'm working on more animations that probably will some of them will probably come in the next update. I work on her hair. I'm not sure if I can finish her hair customizations until the next version, because this won't be my priority, but just in the background I kind of work on her hair to bring this to update this customization. Then others you see other things like this is for the showcase mode, but let's jump to the there are a lot of things for the showcase mode I still have to do, but let's jump to the storyboard creation. And you see here she wears some clothing you maybe didn't see before. It's kind of this belt or fur cape, or how you want to call it. So actually this is an item from the boss, and I brought this item to her to the girls just so I can test how the textures look in the engine, and it's not finished yet, so I have still to do a lot of work before, but this is for the for creating, giving the boss more detail. I mean, we saw the boss, that is the boss will be the next big thing in the story, but we saw the boss in an earlier update. He had some really short scenes, and because of that I didn't give him that much details yet, so I have to kind of give the details now, because of course when you have a battle with the boss we will have a good look at him. Yes, and so I'm working on these fur textures here you see here, and still need some work. It takes some time to make these textures. I also have to change the armature for the boss, because he had a very complicated armature I took from my main characters, and that's a very complicated armature actually. And the boss, first, he doesn't need to have such a complicated armature, and second, because he is a humanoid, but a little bit, but still has different shapes. It's quite difficult to rig this complicated armature to the body I made for the boss. And so I just want to change it to a very simple one, and so I can just really animate the things I want to. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing for the what I'm doing right now for the story, focusing on the boss. There are other little things I'm always updating and bug fix and things like that. What I will focus in the next day is to kind of going the way of releasing a new version, new update, absolutely a new free version or update, So that means that I may take the focus a little bit away from the showcase mode, because finishing everything in the showcase mode, that will still take a lot of time. So instead I will kind of concentrate on smaller content additions for the main game, so so I have enough content that it makes sense to make a new update and release the update. So that's kind of focus for the next days I will have. So maybe I don't really want to make goals, but it would be nice if at the end of the week and around next weekend, I could release the next update, and as promised, before Christmas. So this was a little bit longer journal entry, because I had to talk about a lot of different things. So a lot is happening. A lot of changes are happening. I'm working daily on this project, and I think the game really improves slowly, but it improves. Let's say it like this. And I said it before that with the story progression, I am in a little bit a difficult time, because there are so many things I have to kind of catch up with, because I took a lot of shortcuts before. I was too concerned with always with very regularly releasing a new update and so on, and less focused on doing things the right way from the beginning. And that's something I will kind of change in the future, so there will probably be less updates for the moment, until I have fixed most of the things, except for that update I promise you before Christmas. I think that's important, because I didn't have a free update for over a month, so I will work on that. And yet I think I stopped now talking. Of course I could talk a little bit more about these things, but entries should be short, and this is already a pretty long one. So thank you. You will hear more from me in the next journal entry that will for sure come in the next days. And maybe I have some more specific information about what I will also add to the release of the next update. So thank you for watching. Hope I see you in the next journal entry.